Today I'm going to set up a book light. I don't normally do this. I normally use a softbox just off camera, 45-degree angle down, because it's easy. It's what I know, it's what I can set up quickly, and it's just reliable. The reason I want to do a book light is because I always want to be learning. I always want to be growing and making myself better, right? So I've seen this set up a bunch of times, and I really want that big, soft source of light that will make everything look not dreamy, but softer and easy on the eyes. A big, soft source of light will give you a little less imperfections in the skin. It'll get rid of harsh shadows under the eyes, under the nose, and it should make the image look a little bit cleaner, a little bit more uniform. It's probably going to take a few modifications to get it exactly the way I want it to, but I figured I'd give it a try today just so I could see if I can incorporate it into my workflow because A, it looks awesome. A big, giant setup. People will be, impressed with it, but it has a purpose and it will create an amazing, soft, giant light, which will hopefully make my images look a lot better. Side note for today is I also decided to film these things at the regular angle that I film it or close to it because I don't normally film talking heads like this straight on for clients. I normally have fireside key and I'm filming at the 45-degree angle. So I'm going to add that into the mix just so there's some variety so you can see maybe what this light would look like in an interview setup or a documentary setup or something that isn't a talking head YouTube video. So firstly, what is a book light? A book light is your light, whatever light you choose. I'm going to use the Aperture 200D today, and you're shining that hard light into a bounce. So a bounce could be a piece of white fabric, it could be a soft foam core board, it could be a 4x4 bounce, which I'm using today. I'm using the Wescott 4x4 scrim gym. And then from there, you're shooting it into that bounce and then through a layer of diffusion. So what happens is the light will hit it, get diffused a little bit, and then diffuse again. So what you're doing is you're double diffusing a hard source of light, but you're making it that much bigger. So what you're basically doing is creating a giant softbox in a way. The second you hit the bounce and then it hits your subject, it's already being diffused. But once you hit the bounce and then go through another layer of diffusion, you are double diffusing that light. The beauty of the book light is that you're going to get a bigger source of light now because it's not restricted to the size of softbox that you bring with you. Parabolic softboxes come in a variety of sizes and shapes. They can be small, they can also be quite large. The larger you get, the more cumbersome it gets to carry around, to set up, and they don't have a lot of uses in a lot of places because it just takes up so much space. Not to mention the weight on the light and the light stand, then you need sandbags, and I'm hoping this book light might be a little easier. My setup today is going to be in this small room. It's about 15 by 10, so it's not a big room, so I don't need a ton of light. I'm going to use the 200D just because I really think that's all I'm going to need. I'm going to move this whole setup over to the side because I need a little more space in this small room. Right behind here is a dark corner, so I'll use this softbox first so we can do a side-by-side, and I might just do a tube hair light like I normally do just to keep it, a little interesting. Okay, let's get this set up. So here we are in our setup that we're going to use for this test. Right now, I just have the 60X 80% going through a square, old school, generic softbox that I've had for 800 years, but it is fantastic, so I keep it. I also have my B-cam set up just for the idea of what it would look like normally. I have 3 tubes in the back. One's just a hair light, and then the 2 are on the shelving unit back there just for aesthetics, just because I like it. I'm going to set up the softbox right here to my left, so it'll be far side key for this camera, and it'll be directional for this camera. I'm going to set it up just so it gives me almost a full light. Like I don't want to shadow side of my face too much. I might put some negative fill right here as well, just because I think it might give way too much light. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go set it up. I'll break it down again after that, just so you can see what it looks like. And then we will compare this to that. Here's the look with the book light. I think it turned out really great. Got a nice soft light wrapping all over my face. I did put some negative fill on this side, just a bit. It's just a piece of paper just to kind of give me that shadow side back. And it was actually a lot easier than I thought to set this up. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and it actually doesn't take up a lot of time. I think in the future what I would do is I would use this for a 2-person interview, or I might actually put a stronger light on there so I can get a nice big soft source of light, even in a bright lit environment. It's dark down here and I can control most of the light, so I don't need to worry about that for this one. I'm just excited that I'm able to do this. Every time I do something bigger and better, I feel like I'm learning, and I feel like this is something in my skill set that I can bring to client shoots, and just, again, makes me so much better as a filmmaker, because now I know I have this option. I might not always use it, but if I had it in my back pocket and somebody asked for it, I'd be like, yes, I absolutely know how to set up a 4x4 book light in about 10 minutes. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know which look you like better, if at all, or let me know any critiques you have or tips that I might not know about. Thanks so much. Have a good one.